taking pictures of you.
Pictures?
With a camera. Only you didn't have any clothes on. And you tried to get away from him, but he wouldn't let you. Dr. Russell.
Yes, Charity, I'm here.
Why are you doing that? He's not your husband.
Don't tell. Slept with someone? Family is destroyed. Don't tell.
Who slept with someone, Eve? Answer me. Who were you talking about? Who slept with someone they shouldn't have?
I don't know what you mean.
You were talking in your sleep. You said something about a family was going to be destroyed because of infidelity. But you sound like you were talking about yourself.
Me?
Look at you. You're all shook up. What's going on, Eve?
Just calm down, TC.
You know what? I will calm down as soon as you tell me the truth. Who the hell is sleeping with who?
I don't know what it is that you think that you heard, but you're way off base, and I don't appreciate your accusatory tone.
All right, honey. You just need to tell me what's going on, okay? Because there is something definitely wrong here.
Well, you're right. But it's not me.
Then who is it? Who's got you so upset that you're crying out in your sleep?
It's Sam and Ivy Crane.
What about him?
Well, yesterday in the hospital, I came in on them in one of the offices, and it was very obvious that they were a lot more than acquaintances. What am I going to do, TC?
Sweetheart, I've been asking myself that question for some time now.
You knew about Sam and Ivy?
Sam confided in me a couple of months ago.
But Grace is my best friend. How could you not tell me that Sam was having an affair?
Because he's not. Sam loves Grace more than he ever did, and he would never cheat on her.
Well, it didn't look that way yesterday.
Sweetheart, Sam and Ivy were involved a long time ago. Before he met Grace, and even before Julian was married to Ivy. Sam thought it was over with. But Ivy's got a thing for him, and she wants him back more than she ever did.
Oh, my God.
Sweetheart, it's a royal mess. You know, it's funny how things you think are dead and buried and gone seem to come back someday and bite you when you least expect it. You know, sweetheart, I just wish Sam would have told Grace about his involvement with Ivy a long time ago. You know, Grace would have gotten over it and been upset, but once she realized that it happened before they met, I think she would have gotten over it.
You could still tell her now.
I don't think so. Because now, Grace would have every reason to question him why he kept it from her for so long. Sam broke a sacred trust.
Well, maybe if he explained to her that he didn't tell her because he loved her and he was afraid that it would hurt her in their marriage.
Honey, that's a lame excuse. Husbands and wives owe it to each other to be completely honest with each other. I mean, that's what a good marriage is based upon. I know I wouldn't like it at all if it happened to me. But then again, I know it never will because I'm married to someone who doesn't have any old secret baggage. Sweetheart, I know what's bothering you. You're trying to decide whether or not to tell Grace about Sam and Ivy. That's a tough decision to make. But I'm sure whatever you do, it will be for the best.
Hey, TC, what's
Hey,
up?
how you doing?
Good. Eve, how are you? Listen, Eve, I need to talk to you.
Dr. Russell, have you heard anything about Charity this morning?
Well, actually, I have. The hospital psychiatrist, Dr. Watts, she's going to try a new drug, and she's hoping that it will stop those disturbing hallucinations that Charity's been having.
I pray to God you're right.
Eve, I gotta talk to you.
I know. TC convinced me that I should at least hear you out.
You told him? It's true. Ivy and I were very involved once upon a time, but it was years ago, before either of us was married. I mean, and lately Ivy's getting into her head that she wants me back.
Oh, that's why all those invitations to the Crane Mansion.
Right. I mean, she even found out where I was going to take Grace for a second honeymoon and showed up before we even arrived. I mean, and then yesterday, she trapped me inside the doctor's office moments before you arrived.
Well, she's not taking no for an answer.
And that is the answer I'm going to give her. I swear. I have never been unfaithful to Grace. I love her dearly. And I would never, ever do anything that would harm her. You do believe me, don't you?
Yeah. But it's not that simple, Sam. I mean, Grace is my best friend. Now, it's one thing not to go running to her and tell her what I know, but it is quite another thing to just lie to her outright. If she asked me about it, and if she did that, I mean, I would have to tell her what I know. I'm not going to lie to my best friend, Sam. If Grace senses something between you and Ivy and she comes to me about it, I'm going to have to be honest with her.
Oh, even though it's long dead and buried?
For you, maybe it is, but it's another story for Ivy. I mean, by your own admission, she still wants you. Grace has every right to know that her marriage is threatened.
Look, I respect what you feel that you have to do. But I just want you to know that I've never cheated on Grace. And I will never do anything that would ever harm her.
I know you mean that, Sam. It's just that when people named Crane want something, they don't take no for an answer.
Are you talking about me? You sound like you're speaking from personal experience.
Well, I need to get back to the school. I'm interviewing a new track coach. Grace, thanks again for the quilt history.
Well, sure.
How is it the Cranes have a way of insinuating themselves in our lives like so many poisonous snakes?
I'll get your jacket, TC.
So how's it going in here?
We'll see.
Well, don't worry. You always do the right thing.
You know, more than anything in the world, I hate secrets.
Where did that come from?
I guess from talking to TC about how his ancestors lost their land to the Cranes. I mean, when are people going to realize that it is just better to always tell the truth? And even if there's consequences, it's better to get it out there in the open where you can try to deal with it instead of sweeping it under some rug and wishing it away. And sooner or later, the truth always comes out. And it's so much worse when it's a surprise.
Is that how you really feel, Grace?
Absolutely.
Well, don't you think that there are sometimes situations where it would be less hurtful not to know something? I mean, if I knew something that would cause you pain, wouldn't you want me to keep it from you?
No, never. I mean, no matter what it was. Eve, why do you look that way? I mean, do you know something that would affect me?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you what it is.